So we have composer Roger Suen and director Justin Chon. Yeah, they're here to discuss their latest collaboration, Jamojaya. So Roger is a brilliant composer whose music can be heard in projects like Red Notice, DC's League of Super Pets, and the upcoming Nicolas Cage action comedy, The Retirement Plan. We're gonna have to talk about that later. He also wrote additional music for the multiple Oscar winner The Shape of Water. Justin is a multi-talented filmmaker and actor who recently executive produced and directed Pachinko for Apple TV. As you guys know, he's no stranger to the Sundance community. He wrote, directed, and starred in Gook, which won the Next Award at Sundance in 2017, and he premiered Miss Purple here at the Fest in 2019. Now he's back with the new film Jamojaya. Please say hello to Roger and Justin. Come on up. Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're here, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Straight off the slopes.
Yeah, right. Sweet.
So we're here, it's only day 2 of the festival. You guys haven't had your premiere yet. So I was hoping that you could kind of set us up a little and tell us a little bit about Jamojaya.
Jamojaya is a film about a up-and-coming rapper, and a real rapper named Rich Brian plays the rapper, and basically his father is his manager, but he fires him and gets new management. Basically, the story is a breakup story between father and son. And it's 70% in Indonesia, Bahasa Indonesia, in the Indonesian language. And Anthony Kiedis is in the film. Yeah!
So why was the character of James kind of your center point? Or what was it about this story that you really wanted to tell right now?
Well, to be absolutely honest, kind of one of my tenets for filmmaking is to bring empathy to the Asian American diaspora. And I felt like the Southeast Asian community is very underrepresented.
Sure.
So, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. So, for this one, I really wanted to rep the Indonesian community.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so Brian had not previously acted before. So
Yeah.
how was it that you guys got connected? What did you see in him that really made you want to attach him to the film?
Yeah. It was like a few-year process. It wasn't like I wrote a script and, we had been talking about doing a movie for a while, and the owner of his record label, 88 Rising, Shamir Shiro, I've been friends with him since we were 18.
Wow.
So we had been talking about doing a movie with him, and then, so I just took it slow. So it was just like over a few years, I met with him a lot and kind of figured out what made him tick and what I felt would kind of parallel complement to who he kind of was. So it was like he wasn't, going against the tide. So it was a few-year process, and, but he put the work in. We rehearsed for like a few months and made sure that he was ready to go.
Amazing. And so in terms of music for the film on the character level, was all of that written by Brian? Did you have any original music in the film?
Yeah, we have a ton of original music. He wrote a lot of it. No, he wrote almost all of it that's original. And then what else did he? And then I used some of his previous songs.
Nice.
Because some of his songs are awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that's so interesting, too, that you're bringing a piece of him into the film while he's getting to escape into this character.
Yeah, he kind of didn't like it, though, because he's like, why are you using that song that's like a TikTok song? And I was like, what the fuck is a TikTok song? But ultimately, he's happy now.
You're like, he came around.
Yeah, he came around.
Yeah, amazing. So I want to back up a little bit because you guys have been longtime collaborators. So Roger, could you kind of talk about maybe the first time that you guys met or the first project that you collaborated on?
We first met on Gook a couple years ago, and Justin just hit me up kind of randomly, and he's like, "Oh, I got this really good movie." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure."
Were you guys like
sure
friends of friends, or how did you find Roger?
No. Actually, what happened was I did a Kickstarter, and I was someone was like, what are the things you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, I'm looking. I need a composer, like somebody, and we don't have any money.
Yeah.
So
Roger's like, I'll do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we got in touch. No, but he, how he said that I contacted him, and I was like, yeah, I think the movie's really good. You know what he said? He said, we'll see about that.
I said a little more,
Yeah,
a
a
little
little bit
tactfully.
nicer, but let me be the judge of that.
Yeah.
But
No, and I remember I watched it like on my laptop, and I remember like crying at the end of it. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, yeah, it's pretty good.
So do you always take the same approach, like when you guys are starting a new project? Do you always have the same conversation beforehand? Was there anything new about Jamojaya, especially with it being kind of music-centric, that changed your own approach to the score?
I think
It's
yeah, it's been different every time.
It's different every time. We definitely start pretty early on. For whatever reason, Jamojaya, this one kind of just fell into place musically pretty organically.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen
No.
that often.
Because I think like Miss Purple and Blue Bayou were really difficult. Like it took a while. This one, the ideas were great, but you know, we learned a lot on this one too, though. But in terms of like the style and you know, the tone of the music was pretty quick, undeciding.
I got you.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you have to do, speaking to music, as a film composer, is you kind of have to balance between your own underscore and any source music or additional music components.
Yeah.
Was that harder on this film because it was music-centric, or did you kind of find it seamless?
You know, at first it was a little tricky because there's the hip hop music, there's Indonesian children's choir, and I think in the beginning we were like, oh, let's like have some through line, and we really try to like force it, and then it just wasn't working, and we're just like, screw it, let's just not do it, and then everything just kind of fell into place. Which is probably a good life lesson, you know, don't force things kind of thing.
You know, with these sort of ethnic films, like especially you know with like Asian American centric films, that the low hanging fruit is to lean on whatever country you're representing. So if I'm doing a film about Korea, you know, a Korean American, like you know maybe you know you use some Korean influence, but that ends up not feeling right.
Sure.
So in the beginning of this, we were taking a look at gamelan music, you know, like, and it sounded corny. It was just like it just felt too on the nose.
Sure.
So that's, yeah.
It's like the same people that want to like listen to French pop as they're walking through Paris.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I understand. That is me. That's what I'm saying. I'm the one walking through Paris, yeah. So one of the recent photos that you posted on Instagram is about recording a choir. Could you walk us through that process, and why did you do it in Park City?
For a lot of different reasons. I mean, the first answer is obviously, you know, budget constraints on an indie film. And then, you know, the score being choir, it's a chamber choir, so it's not your big, like, film score choir. So we kind of had to find the right one. You know, you have your, like, Eastern Europe choirs, but they just do the, like, Carmina Burana kind of thing.
Okay.
So a friend of mine turned me on to these guys, and I just thought it was appropriate since we're going to premiere here. There's obviously a bit of religious undertones to Salt Lake City, and so I drove myself up here, and we recorded them.
Amazing.
It was great.
Is this the first time that you've kind of had that influence of vocals and building that into a score? Is that like comfortable for you?
This is the first time I did a chamber choir, which I learned very quickly is a whole nother animal than your traditional big, you know, church classical choir.
Sure.
It's definitely a lot more finessing, and more finessing than even say like a chamber group, you know, with instruments. And so you really have to work with them. It's what I imagine it's like working like with actors, even more so.
Sure.
Because every voice is kind of a different character, and we even like kind of auditioned different people in the choir to do different things, and I was just kind of rolling the dice. I kind of a lot of the time I didn't even know what I was doing, to be honest. So,
amazing.
But it was fun.
We always figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the fact that you guys are longtime friends, and it's showing up on stage today too. What would you say is like the secret to kind of your relationship, especially communication-wise?
It's changed over time.
Really?
You know, yeah,
How so?
and I think, at least I can speak for myself. I've changed as an artist in the way I work with people, and I think before, as an insecure sort of like filmmaker and artist at first, I think you're really trying to force things, and you're really trying to like, it has to be like this, and you could be a bit abrasive, and you know, and then over the last, I don't know, few years, I am starting to feel like that's not really the most healthy way to work, and you just kind of, you know, but the big thing I think is starting early.
Yeah.
Even if like you don't have the funding or whatever, I can still have a conversation with him and send the script, and we can have a conversation about the script and talk about, you know, what I'm thinking about and sort of the themes I want to explore. So it's been an evolution.
Yeah.
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 Do you ever anchor on an instrument, or are you thinking about themes when you're having these conversations, or is it really like, let's just follow this story together and figure out where it goes?
Yeah, it's definitely the story thing. I don't know, I think we tend to, instrumentation's a big part of it, you know, finding that right color palette. We tend to like scores with just a good old-fashioned tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really how we color it is kind of the variable.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And every single score for our films we've done 4 now together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4. We've always done a live score. We've never really relied on like, like keyboards or synths, or it's really live, you know, strings and live, for the case of this, live voices.
Yeah.
And then we sometimes we got to help it out a little bit and we add some pads or something like that. But like for the most part, we love doing live score.
And I think it largely has to do with the kind of stories that, you know, we tell. And
Totally.
most of these movies, they deal with family.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we try to go old school in the acoustic world as much as we can.
Nice. That texture definitely comes through. I have cried through many of your collaborations. So, and several of those films have come obviously here to the film festival. I'm kind of wondering, especially as you guys are back in person here, what's so special about being here in the Sundance community, or what really stands out to you about being here at the festival?
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, look at like we're just chilling up in the mountains. I just like literally flew off the slope and got in the car and then dropped off, and I'm doing this talk, and it's just the energy is unparalleled, and everybody wants to be here.
Yep.
And you have to, it's hard to get here.
That's right.
And when you're sitting in a room where you just have people that love film and want to talk about film, it really is a special sort of experience every time we come.
Yeah, the stoke level is at an all-time high.
Yes.
And it's kind of cool to see like other LA people in the snow. It's kind of fun to see us all.
We're all out of our element. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so before we end, obviously you guys have not had your premiere yet, but I was wondering, could you tell everyone when your premiere is, and also if they are interested in following the film or the two of you, what's the best way to find you?
Sunday, 9:30 at the Eccles. This Sunday. And we don't have like a Twitter or Instagram for the film, but and I don't have Twitter anymore because it's gnarly. But but I but I have Instagram, so it's just my name, Justin Chon.
Great.
Yeah, I'm on there too. So
Find him as well. Amazing. Let's give it up for Roger. And
Thank you, guys.